Look, we need to talk. Because what in the world was that? So I'm back from New Orleans, but it didn't come back with a win. And let's talk about why. After the intro. He threw 3 of them things. 3 of them. Hey, welcome back. I'm Bonafide. This is section 240. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at this past weekend's matchup against the Saints. We lost to them by 1 point, but it really feels like we lost by 45 points. At least that's how I'm feeling today. But before we get into the game, recap and all that, I had a super dope time in New Orleans. I mean, I always enjoy the culture, the music, the food, everything that has to do with New Orleans. I was on Bourbon Street. We went to the Frenchman Street, went to the market, heard some live music, really got to enjoy the city. The weather was beautiful, was on the riverside. It was just a good time. I met a lot of Titans fans over the weekend. Got to meet Chili Pepper on Bourbon Street. Hey, we were well represented in the city. Everywhere we went, there was Titans fans. So it was definitely a dope time. The Two-Tone Blue Nation, which is a Facebook group that I'm linked up with on Facebook, they hosted a few events on Bourbon Street, and they did the tailgate. All of the events were great. All of the fans were super dope. It was really good to be in a foreign city and be with people that are diehard Titans fans, things like that. And it was just a good time. Really had a good time. We went to the tailgate. I kind of got there kind of late, but still, it was a lot of people there. Got to enjoy everybody there. And then we went to the stadium, marched to the stadium. It was tightening up all the way. The game day experience at the Superdome is cool. I mean, like everything went fine, like concessions, bing, bang, boom. You was in and out. There wasn't long lines, things like that, especially for this being the first game and the stadium was packed. I mean, it was packed. So hats off to the New Orleans Saints and all their game day and the Caesar Superdome thing. But let me tell you something before we get into this. That stadium is freaking loud. I mean, it is unbelievably loud. I was sitting next to Mrs. Bonafide and I couldn't even hear her. And she was yelling. I was yelling. I actually lost my voice going through the game. I'm just now recovering. It was super loud. Fans were super chill. Obviously, we're not Falcons, so they didn't have any problems with us, a non-division appointment. But yeah, fans were super chill. I'll tell you a story before we get into it. The touchdown that they called and they reviewed and they overturned it, there was a fan sitting in front of me. And right there in the game, we made a $20 bet whether or not it was going to be a touchdown or was overturned. And let's just say my daughter has book fair money today because I won that bet. Shout out to Music City Bet because it's gambling, not cashing out. But man, let's go ahead and get into a game recap. So this game was close during the first half. I mean, we actually led at halftime 9-6, just basically trading field goals. And the teams, like, you know, it was the first game, first quarter, first real action, first couple of drives. So everybody was getting their rhythm together. And you know what? Nick Folk, this was a bright spot, another one of the bright spots. Nick Folk, we just signed him. He basically scored all the points for us the entire game. He was 5 for 5 on field goals, so that was a good thing to see. Solid leg, he kicked some, and none of them were ever in doubt. Obviously, it's inside the dome, so we'll see next week what happens when he's at Nissan Stadium. The defense did exactly what I thought they were going to do. And Arden Key, we're going to talk about him a little bit later, but they had 4 sacks of Carr in the first half. They sacked him 4 times, and Amani Hooker continued that good work that he was doing in training camp and picked him off. So we were doing good. It seemed like we were going to work ourselves out of the kinks, but we just kept making too many mistakes in the games. We had penalties, and then in the second half, you know, when Carr got settled in, their offense got settled in, they started getting cooked like some shrimp etouffee. And they allowed Derek Carr to throw for 305 yards. He had a TD to go along with that pick, and that TD was on a double move, and I think it was Shaheed Rashid. They kept saying that man's name all over again. But the big story of the game is Ryan Tannehill's inability to stop throwing the ball to people who were dressed in New Orleans Saints uniforms. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And we just never got going on offense. And because of that, we ended up losing this game 16-15. So, yeah, it was really disheartening. Obviously, being at the game made it even like 5 times worse. But, yeah, it's crazy. So, next segment, player of the game, Arden Key. Look, Arden Key, from my seats all the way in 613, was jumping off the field. I mean, that man was electric. I mean, this is what we thought we were getting when we signed him. And, thanks Jags for being idiots and not re-signing that dude, because he was wrecking havoc all on that from his linebacker spot. He had 1.5 sacks. He linked up with Danico on one of them, and he had like 11 pressures. I think he led the league this week in pressures on the quarterback. And then the fumble that was overturned by them stupid refs. But I know Rand was smiling when he saw his free agent pickup doing the work that he was doing in his Titans debut. So Arden Key is our player of the game for this week. Now, time for everybody's favorite section, Bonafide Banter. Okay, let's talk about this officiating. Now, look, I'm not one to complain about the refs and whether they're missed calls or things like that. And both sides really had some calls. But the overturned fumble was the biggest. The ref got money on the Saints play of the day. I mean, that clearly was a fumble. It was a fumble. There was nothing. His hand was coming forward. You didn't see the ball in it. So it was a fumble. And it should have been a scoop and score. That right there. Now, that didn't cost us the game per se. You can look at it and say, yeah, it played a factor, but it didn't cost us the game. We'll talk about that in a minute. But goodness, it was a 10-point swing on that one. So, everyone that reviewed that play, Dean Blandino is the one that pops out of my mind, said it should not have been blown dead, and it should have been a touchdown for the Titans. Again, the defense showing up, causing the ball, get turnovers, and scoring. I mean, I cannot believe that they screwed us again like that. When I say again, remember last year with Josh Dobbs? It was the same freaking play. So how is the Josh Dobbs play a fumble and not this car play? I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, once the refs, they screwed us over. Okay, all right. So, how in the world does Tyjae Spears out-snap Derrick Henry? Please explain that to me. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It's like Christmas morning. Everybody likes to play with the new toy. Everybody wants to see what it does. Everybody wants to see the bells and whistles. But come on, let's not get it twisted. We're talking about Derrick Henry here, all right? Derrick Henry should be on the field. He should be the feature back. You work Tyjae Spears into that. You don't work Derrick Henry into that. You work Tyjae Spears into that. So if we would have given Derrick Henry the ball a little bit more, maybe we could have extended some of those drives, and maybe we could have had a little bit more things to do. Because look, we played right into their hands. That was last year. They were a very, very good pass defense. And we just played right into their hands. So, Mike said it was an outlier on his presser afterwards. So he said it was an outlier. Says that's not how we want to play ball. So, maybe let's not do that again, because not only did that work out for us, but it's cost us the Gridiron Gambles play of the day. Derrick only had like 60 some odd yards. I think it was like 53 or something like that. So yeah, lost that. So yeah, let's not get it twisted. Tim, stick with Derrick, okay? All right, okay. Now, this was a topic that I saw a lot of people talking about on Twitter. It was like getting mad at Mike for not going for it on that 4th down. Like, look, I'm not mad at Mike for not going for it and taking a field goal. He made the decision to kick it, get the points, lean on his defense, because look, they were getting it done. Now, they weren't great, but they were getting it done. They were outperforming the offense at that particular time. And at that particular point, you couldn't trust that 17 wasn't going to turn it over again. Yes, trust is the word I'm talking about. So this is what we're going to do here. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. And And then we're going to talk about this guy, because I know this is what you came for. What the was Ryan Tannehill thinking? I do not get it, man. Look, first of all, he didn't even play in the preseason. He only played 3 snaps. We gave him 3 handoffs. And this shows. I don't know what Ryan Tannehill or what the people, Mike, Rand, Tim Kelly were thinking, not putting that dude in there. He ain't a top 10 quarterback. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I said that this could be the start of the Tannehill Revenge Tour. I was sadly mistaken on that, because if this is the start of this tour, it's just like that little baby concert at the FedEx Forum. He ain't performing and everybody getting refunds, because this was trash. I mean, absolute trash. He was missing wide open players. Do you understand me? Tyjae Spears on that wheel route was so wide open. I kid you not, he was so wide open that the Saints fans started cursing in the stands because that was a TD. What does Ryan Tannehill do? He throws the ball out of bounds. Tyjae doesn't even have a chance to make a play on the ball. Everybody in the stands turns around and looks at me looking for, like, they can't believe it. Like, how could you miss somebody that wide open? And I just shook my head. I just shrugged. All the other Titans fans in the area shrugged, because this is who he is. He was thrown into double coverage. Like, some of those picks shouldn't even happen. Like, you don't throw that ball. The first pick, the DeAndre Hopkins, I get it. We want to use the new toy. We want to make sure that we got somebody out there that can go out there and get the ball. He threw it in the double coverage. There were 2 people on DeAndre Hopkins. I thought DeAndre Hopkins was about to get jumped by 2 Saints, because there were too many on him, and he threw it right to him. The last pick, they was trying to force the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. It didn't even get there. It was like what is his arm cooked? What's going on? I do not know. It just was overall, it was just bad QB play. I'm telling you straight up out of here. Now look, I know Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions last night and had a fumble, but even then, his performance wasn't nearly as bad as Ryan Tannehill. I mean, this was just plain foolishness, man. I'm like, Josh Allen, yeah, people are like, well, oh yeah, Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions, so I guess he could be it. No. Is Josh Allen 34? No. Is he a mediocre quarterback? No. Is his ceiling the 20th best quarterback in the league? No. So that's why Josh Allen gets more rope. But we haven't won a game since November the 17th. And the game we come back and win, this is what you do. You throw 3 interceptions. He didn't look confident in the pocket. And I don't want to hear talking about the offensive line was trash, or the offensive line did this, or the offensive line did it. Because they did what they were supposed to do. This man was running into sacks. I mean, he looked terrified out there. And that's why Mike didn't even want to go on 4th and 2. Well, he should have. Probably should have gave the ball to Derrick Henry a little bit more, because this dude completely blew it. And I don't want to hear, look, I get it. Game 1 is a lie. It's a lie. Yeah, you don't want to put all your beliefs in there. You don't want to overreact. But this kind of play has been plaguing us. He had that one good year and we believed him. But I'm telling you, former Miami Dolphins fans were in my DM saying, yep, that's exactly the Ryan Tannehill that we all knew. And look, I mean, it's bad. Now, granted, we got to throw this one away and put it there. But I'm telling you this right now. If we get any semblance of the same type of quarterback play this week against the Chargers, not only are we going to get cooked, but it's gonna be time to really start looking in the mirror and things like that. Yeah, I know there's some people that, oh, you gotta keep hope in there. I know there's some fans out there still defending Ryan Tannehill, but let me tell you something right now. He ain't it. He is not it. Trust me. I tried to. Look, put me on whatever hot takes, freezing cold takes, but this ain't it. This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the national media is right about Ryan Tannehill. Maybe he ain't got the goods. Cause I'm telling you right now, that right there, we can't have no more of that. We can't have no. You ain't good enough. Ryan Tannehill. I'm talking to you. You ain't good enough to come out there and throw 3 interceptions, miss wide open players on plays that they, cause look, let me get this right. You know, and I know I'm over my 3 minutes. I don't give a real. It's my video. Tim Kelly called a good game. I mean, he was out there cooking. That offense looked different than what we had last year. But guess what? Ryan Tannehill looked the same. Garbage, okay? He ain't, look, I'm tired of people saying, oh, he's won you more games than he's lost. Yeah, great. But guess what? He's still Ryan mid Tannehill. So 17, better make sure that this week he gets his act together, because if we get anything remotely close to this next week, oh boy, let me tell you something, it's not gonna bode well for him. All right, okay, so all right, look, we done with that. So we're gonna wrap this video up because I already know we done went long. Coming up next week, we got the Chargers. So we're off 0-1. And the Chargers are 0-1. They're coming into town. So it's our season opener at the home opener. Chargers lost to the Dolphins. And yeah, so they're looking to get back on track as well. We cannot start the season off 0-2. I know there's still a lot of games left, but look. And I know Daniel Brunskill said that he was on the 49ers team that started 0-1 and they ended up making it to the NFC Championship game. Yeah, that team had way more competent quarterback play than we do right now. So I know it's gonna sound crazy, but this might be we got a must-win game, because we gotta come away with a win. This is an AFC opponent. We're at the home opener, so we can't have none of this. So we'll talk about that more. So if you made it this far, I'm glad. We 0-1. It's season time, baby. But this is what this channel is for. So don't forget to tune into the next episode where we're going to preview the Chargers. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to give you the Gridiron Gambles plays and get all into it. Thanks to all the subscribers that have joined the channel. But make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And send this to your friends. Because like I said, there's plenty in room in the section for all of us, all right? So make sure you share it. I'm going to try to do some yoga so I can calm down, dispose of this game, and then we can get started with week 2. Tighten up.